Was your loved one recently diagnosed with dementia? You are not alone. There are many people in the same situation. We'd like to give you a few tips that will make this easier. Hi, my name's Melanie Delgado. I'm the owner of Right at Home, and today we're going to talk to you about how to care for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia. Number one, know who you're caring for. So it's important to understand the diagnosis of the loved one or the person you're caring for. Why is this important? If your loved one is experiencing dementia symptoms, dementia is not a diagnosis. Dementia is just what you are seeing on the outside, and therefore a diagnosis is needed. Alzheimer's is by far the number one diagnosis for someone experiencing dementia symptoms. But they can be diagnosed with something else, maybe Parkinson's or some other disease that is causing their dementia symptoms. That's why it's very important to understand the diagnosis and to get the diagnosis so you know exactly what it is that you're dealing with your loved one. It's also very important for you to know their past. If it's your loved one, this is probably very simple for you, but if it's somebody else that you're caring for, it's very important for you to understand and get to know your client. Why is that important? Because when someone is experiencing dementia symptoms or has Alzheimer's, they tend to revert backwards. Therefore, understanding a lot about their past will help you understand where they're at in the present. So an example I'd like to give with this is we had a client and she would often remember being at home in Wisconsin and outside playing on the family farm. She was a client of ours for many, many years, and we did have conversation with the family, so we understood that she grew up on the family farm in Wisconsin. But understanding that and understanding where she put herself, then we could interact with her exactly where she was. So allowing her to remember that memory and going and being with her during her memory, allowing her to have her memory, but also us being present during her journey through that memory. This leads us into our next tip. Number 2, proper communication. It is very important when working with somebody with dementia symptoms or Alzheimer's that you meet them where they are. What this means is that you need to understand that your loved one is not doing this on purpose. If they're telling you that they're playing in the field with their cousins in Wisconsin, in their mind, that is exactly where they're at. You need to be able to meet them where they're at. For you to not argue with them that they're not in Wisconsin playing in the field with their cousins. For you to be there and be present with them during that memory and that journey. Another example of this is we had a client that she used to always think that there were children in the room with her. Understanding her past, she grew up in a very large family. So her memory was actually her being a little girl playing with all of her cousins. So the little children that were in the room were her little cousins that she was playing with. So understanding this about your loved one and where they're at, it's very important for you to be with them on their journey. That was a very important memory to our client, and that brought her joy. So being able to be with her and be present in a memory that brought her joy actually brought her a lot of calm and peace. It's also important that you do not give too many choices or ask too many questions. Why is this important? Because your loved one or the person that you're caring for will get stuck in trying to remember what you're asking of them. It's very important when you know your client and you know your loved one, you know what their favorite food is. So therefore, make their favorite food. Or make 2 of their favorite foods and say, would you like fish or would you like chicken? But you know either one of them is their favorite food. The same thing with dressing. If you know what your client likes or your loved one likes, that, hey, they're very comfortable in wearing, they like that red shirt and that blue shirt's their favorite. So therefore, when it's time for them to dress, it's like, hey, I put out your blue shirt, it's your favorite. So don't give them choices, just understand what it is that they would be comfortable with or what their favorite food is and just offer it to them. That way they don't get stuck in trying to figure out how to answer your question or to pick from something that might be overwhelming for them. Tip number 3, encourage independence. It's very important, extremely important for your loved one or your client to feel that they still have their independence. Especially early on in the diagnosis, they understand that something is not right. And the more that people want to interfere and get in the middle of what they're trying to do, they feel that people are starting to take their independence, and that can also cause a lot of animosity. So examples of this would be somebody that normally sits out every Sunday and pays their bills. Well, let them take everything out to pay their bills. Even if you're concerned that they might not be doing it correctly, sit with them. Help them through the process, but don't take that away from them. Laundry. Even if you know that, in the past they haven't been doing laundry correctly, well, let them do the laundry. Just be with them and make sure that it's being done correctly. Guide them through it, but don't take it away from them. The same thing with prepping meals. If there's someone that likes to cook, get all the ingredients together for them ahead of time and be there with them and help them prepare the meals, but still let them do it on their own. Number 4, create a routine and stay active. If your loved one was active in the community, let them stay and remain active. You might have to figure out a bit of a different routine to allow them to do that, but you want them to stay in as much as their normal routine as possible. If your loved one loved to dance, let them continue to dance. Maybe they don't go to a dance hall, but they do it in your living room, or they do it at a church event, somewhere they can still enjoy the event and not be overwhelmed. If your loved one loved walking in the park every night, after dinner, go with them. Let them walk in the park every night after dinner. That's the routine. You don't want to take it away from them. Number 5, companionship. Early on with dementia symptoms and an Alzheimer's diagnosis, your loved one understands that there's something that's just not right with them. They haven't been able to pinpoint it and they don't understand what's going on, but they do understand that there's something a bit off. So therefore, being their companion, being their friend, their spouse, their son, their daughter, is still greatly important, that you continue to keep those relationships. It's also very important for you to not point out where their difficulties are. They already know. They don't need to be reminded of it. It's very important for you to just treat them as you normally would without recognizing that there's something a bit off. We often find with loved ones or clients that repeat themselves often, that others will tend to not want to be around them and not want to have that companionship with them because they feel stressed or frustrated because of the repeating. It's important for you to remember that they're not doing it on purpose. They're not asking that same question over and over again because they want to. In their mind, they do not remember that they've actually already asked you the question. So having, lots of patience with your loved one is very important. If you find yourself that it's too frustrating or you're getting too stressed out in the situation, this is where you should ask for help. Maybe have some of their friends come over and have some conversation with them. Have some of your other siblings come over and have conversations with them, or even hire outside help so that you can have that break and they can still have the companionship that they need. And this leads into number 6, get support. There are many resources out there in our community for your loved ones experience dementia symptoms or have Alzheimer's. There are many educational resources. One of our favorites is the Glenner Center, the town hall that they have in Chula Vista. This is a wonderful space. It has the 50s theme, so it takes them back to a nostalgic memory that they have. They can go there as a day center and they can have the experience and the nostalgia that they might be striving for. You can leave them there during the day so that you can have a break, but there's also many educational workshops that they have there as well. So you could take your loved one and have them in the town hall while you have some educational resources that they will provide to you for continuing to care for your loved one. A lot of their resources focus on the caregiver and to give you additional tips and help you through this journey as well. The Alzheimer's Association is also a great one. The Alzheimer's Association puts on many educational events. You can go to their website for what they have posted and scheduled, or you can even sign up for their newsletter so that you get notified of the educational events that they have that you may be able to take advantage of. There are many support groups out in the community. I am part of a support group that's up in Alpine, which is where I live. If you're interested in finding a support group, you can always reach out, and you can reach out to Google and there are many that are listed, or you can reach out and ask at the Alzheimer's Association or even at the Glenner Center of ones that they have posted around the area. And lastly, you can hire a home care agency like Right at Home that specializes in working with those with dementia symptoms or an Alzheimer's diagnosis. To learn more, you can visit our website, www.homecare.sd.com.